founder of Found Brands. And on this video, I'm going to talk about rebranding. And although a lot of graphic designers are going to immediately say yes to a client if they ask them if it's time for a rebranding, I think this is a business decision and we need to be really smart about it. That's why when a client asks me if it's time for a rebranding, I go through a set of questions with them just to make sure they're considering every aspect before moving forward and changing their branding. I am going to share those questions with you during this video so you can create your own assessment and decide for yourself if it's time or not for a rebranding project for your own business. I'm going to share my screen here so we can go through the presentation that I prepared for you. And the first thing that I want to share with you is that everything is branded. So we cannot escape branding. Even if we feel like we don't have a brand because we don't have a logo, we don't have a website, at the end, we use our name, we may use a specific style to deliver our services, we use our face to brand our social media accounts. So basically everything is branded and we cannot escape it. The best thing you can do is take control of that branding. So to rebrand or not to rebrand? That would be the question for today. And as I mentioned before, we should go through specific questions first, just to make sure that that's the right step. And we're not trying to fix other challenges that our business has with the rebranding. So with my clients, we can usually uncover some challenges that they're going through, and maybe what they need is to implement other solutions instead of a rebranding, right? So the first question is your branding outdated? This could mean that your logo or your branding overall is using colors, graphic elements that were trending many years ago, and now it's kind of like a timestamp on your branding. Also, it could mean that your branding is communicating some services or values that are no longer what you need to express to your audience, and that could also make your branding outdated. The next question is, are you standing out? And that's really easy. Do you see that you're standing out, or are you blending in the sea of options that your client has to navigate to get to the right solution? The next one is your brand consistent? And this is really easy. If I visit your Instagram, then I go to your Facebook page. If I go to your website, if I ask you for a business card, do those elements, do those channels, do they all look like they come from the same business? Because if they're not, then your brand is not being consistent. And the next question is, has your business evolved? And this means that your team probably grew, you added locations, maybe your services changed, or you added more services to what you're offering currently. And that could mean that you're up for a rebranding. This next question speaks about what the main reason for a rebranding is. My clients usually come to me for a rebranding when they have this specific problem, and it's, are you looking for a new audience? Sometimes my clients do not want to abandon their current clients or their current audience, but they do want to connect and search for a new audience. And their branding is not helping them. It's not connecting with this new audience. And that could be a good reason to rebrand. Here's an example of a client that had its own logo. He had his own logo, his own colors, name, and everything, but he needed a revamp. He was ready to take over on social media, but didn't have all the elements ready. So we did a rebranding. We still preserved colors, elements, but we made it more modern, more authentic to what the business was right now. We created icons, we created social media posts, we created patterns, textures, we specified the colors and the fonts, so everything would come together, and he would have all the tools he needed to actually post on social media, to actually revamp his website and to communicate that the branding was evolving, that the brand was evolving, that the business was growing. And that was a really successful project. So again, the question, should I rebrand? I hope that the questions that I shared before gave you a little bit more clarity on if it's time or not to do a rebrand. And if not, you can also share with me your questions below this video, and I can answer with the information you provided me to give you a little bit more clarity. I would also invite you to schedule a free 15-minute intro call with me. That way we can go through the specifics of your own business and make sure that this is the right step for you, in case that the questions that I shared before still don't give you enough clarity of what the next step should be for your business. So basically, that's the information that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found it helpful. I hope the questions helped you find more clarity. If you find this video could be helpful for somebody else, for a solopreneur out there, for an entrepreneur that's just starting their business, or that's been in business for many, many years, and they're up for a rebranding, share this video with them, and I would be really happy to connect with them as well. Thank you so much. See you next time.